beware, beware. This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ, 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ, 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Hey, good Tuesday morning. You know, I got to say, for my enemies, I am a complete idiot. I can't find nothing nowhere. I'm about as organized as these politicians in St. Clair County, and that's okay. I'm not proud of it, but not ashamed of it, because I'm not stealing your money. I'm not spending your tax dollars like these ignorant, rotten, stupid bastards. And first, on a serious note, I want to thank Mr. and Mrs. John Dawson out of Mascoutah. You know, their son passed. What a lovely, lovely message I got from him today, and I want to tell you guys, you hit my heart, you know, it's just rough all over. You know, we're sitting here playing politics. You hear me day in and day out, and there's serious crap going on. People are dying every day. The streets are unsafe. And here, I got to go here. I wasn't going to go here right now, but I'm going to go here right now. For anybody who doesn't. And yesterday, it was a little personal on my end. But let me tell you, this is my show. I'm going to say what I want, when I want, about what I want. And I felt compelled yesterday, and I want to say, it's amazing that the people that will reach out to you when they think you're hurting. And I am hurting. We all hurt. We all have family members, loved ones, friends that die, and it hurts. It hurts for a long time. And for someone not to take a minute out to let somebody have their say, you know, what a bunch of ass-white bastards. They're just about as bad as politicians. But having said that, and again, see, I don't know why I keep saying it. You know, guys know I'm running for office, and I piss people off all the time. But one person I'm going to make happy every day, that's me. I'm going to say what I feel. And I think everybody has that opportunity, has that right, has that commitment. I think it's a commitment for you good people to speak up, to stand up, and say what's on your mind. You can always do it here. If I'm not ranting and raving, and that's usually hardly ever, but we are America's voice of freedom. Definitely the Patriot. Call toll-free, 1-888-394-1430. On the east side, 394-1190. You want to get something off your chest, fine. You want to talk good about whatever, talk. If you want to talk good about Kern, give me a call. I'll let you talk good about Kern. I'll think you're an idiot, but you got every right. But this Kern, this no-good son of a bitch, he's down on the riverfront with all those ads. You people know he's going to spend about $800,000-$900,000 on ads. You've seen he's got ads on every TV station. Every TV station he's got ads on. I don't think it's going to do him any good. But he's down on the riverfront. First time ever I saw him. Well, I've seen a few other times with just a regular shirt. Trying to be a regular guy. Kern, you're not a regular guy. Hey, Sweet Cakes, any son of a bitch called Sweet Cakes is not a regular guy. I don't give a damn if you got a shirt on without a tie or whatever you have on, Kern.
Where's the dress? Where's the dress? Tell me where's the dress? Where's the dress?
Now, Mo, let's get on down to the store and get some lipstick and some rouge.
Where's the dress? Hey, Joe, why don't we do this thing up right and get some in my ostrich balloon?
You know,
where's the dress?
I was wondering if they made a pink pump in a size 12, Mo.
Where's the dress?
Yeah, Kern, you and your pink pumps. I'll put my pink pump up your ass and see. I don't wear pink pumps going down East Main. Now, I may occasionally, because they're comfortable, I guess. I tried them on. They're not too bad, Kern. Maybe you'll start a new fashion trend, you idiot. And I got to ask, a few years back, were you stopped by the police in drag going down East Main? I don't know. I'm asking. People have told me that. That's been alleged. I don't know if there's any truth to it. They say they pulled the police report. And again, it's all been alleged. But I just want to know. Kern, do you enjoy wearing a dress? Can you answer me that? I see your wife. She doesn't dress very well. She dresses in pants. Do you guys, have you flipped the script somehow? Is that a transgender house? If you know what I mean, and I think you do. But people of East St. Louis, you guys ought to be livid. This no good son of a bitch. You see him down there now. He's got billboards all over below the hill. Got advertising. He comes down to East St. Louis for a commercial, and it's a backdrop of St. Louis. He's not over in St. Louis, backdrop of East St. Louis. What, are you ashamed to be in East St. Louis, you idiot? Think about it, people. He's running for St. Clair County, Illinois board chairman. He's in East St. Louis. Has all his security, his fat-ass Herbie Simmons. Herbie couldn't bust a grape, this no-good little bitch boy, Herbie Simmons. And we'll talk about him at some other point in time. He's not really relevant. Do you understand? Kern gives a damn less about the people of St. Clair County. It's all self-serving for him and the St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption. I know you get tired of me saying that, but don't you get more tired of them stealing from us? Raising your taxes? They tell me at the courthouse. Everybody has raised their fees. The circuit clerk, the recorder of deeds, the county clerk. Everybody has raised their fees. They don't ask you good people, the taxpayers, hey, we'd like to raise our fees. What do you guys think? There's no public hearing. You think about it. There's no public hearing. You go up there tomorrow, they can raise your fees $20, $30. And they're taking that money and helping shore up the county because all their family, their friends, and we're going to talk about the inbreeding in politics. I was sent something from Fairmont City, very, very, very interesting, and we'll get into that in just a little bit. But they're raising the fees, people. It used to be $20, $30 to file a small claim suit. Now it's $150, $200 to get something recorded at the recorder's office. Used to be $6, $8. Now it's $50, $60. They don't ask for your permission. They don't ask for the boss's permission. But that's what Sweet Cakes Kern and the Democratic culture of corruption has done. Talk about East St. Louis. Lonzo Greenwood, the president of the school board, District 189. Inferior education. And it's a shame because those students down there, those proud young black kids, they need a good education because they're starting from the back anyway. They need a helping hand. Alonzo Greenwood and his crew are giving them a backhand. They're not giving them a helping hand. You know, he's got my opponent, LaToya, $100,000 a year working for him. She makes $40,000 a year for the city where she's a council member. And they just come out, Garrett Harner, who makes $900,000, a white boy from Belleville, taking the money out of East St. Louis, as usual. He made a ruling that if LaToya wins the state representative race, she can keep all of her jobs. She'll be making over $250,000, people of East St. Louis. That's more than some of you people will make in your lifetime. But the Lonzo Greenwood family, he's going to take care of them. Think about it. Why in the hell would he not put an independent candidate, a candidate that wasn't related to somebody, to give one of you good people, a good candidate, the opportunity to serve your community, to serve the 114th Legislative District? No, he's putting his daughter in there so she can get elected and bobblehead for Madigan, and then Greenwood can get some jobs. I tell you people in East St. Louis, if that's what you want, vote for her, because that's what you're going to get. If you want somebody who's going to fight for you, not fight for the Democratic Party, not fight for the Republican Party, you better vote for Bob Romanik, because Bob Romanik doesn't give a damn about any of these politicians, Democrat or Republican. I give a damn about you people, and you know it. So election day, you know what you got to do. But back on Kern. Why wouldn't he be in St. Louis with the backdrop being East St. Louis? because he doesn't respect anybody or anything in St. Clair County. You good people know that. He never comes down to the restaurants. I travel by myself every day. Carl travels by himself. You think Kern would ever travel by himself in East St. Louis? He's afraid of you people, and you know why he's afraid? Because he doesn't understand you. You know why he doesn't understand you? Because he doesn't take the time to understand you, to learn about you. All he cares about is Election Day, and I don't have to tell the people below the hill in Centerville, Allerton, Cahokia. Guys, go ahead and vote for him again. You'll have 4 more years of crap. You haven't had anything in 30, 40 years. They keep promising you this and that. Don't you think, again, after 30, 40, 50 years, that if they haven't done it by now, they're not going to do it? But think about that. The totally most disrespectful thing that rotten sweet cake son of a bitch Mark Sweet Cakes Kern can do comes down to East St. Louis. And the backdrop isn't East St. Louis. No, he's ashamed to represent East St. Louis. The backdrop is, guess what? The arch. The arch, the St. Louis side, the St. Louis, Missouri, not the Illinois, not St. Clair County, Illinois, but St. Louis County, Missouri. Got his ugly face. There's the arch. What a great commercial. It's not a great commercial. It's a disrespectful commercial, Kern. And I'm sure he'll probably pull it because those bastards all listen to my crap. And I'm proud and happy that they do. But think about it. He has no respect, not just for East St. Louis. I'm just not going to pinpoint East St. Louis. He has no respect for the people of St. Clair County. 12 years he's been in office and not done a damn thing. And now they tell me there's something in the paper today about the airport. About the airport, the Mid-America Airport, the joint use, which I was told by some county board members was done illegally last night. Of course, everything they do, well, I can't say everything. Most of what they do is illegal, but they get away with it because, see, they're the judge, the jury, and the executioner in St. Clair County. They've got everything so tied up. None of us decent. Not we the people, we never have the opportunity. They're not going to give us the opportunity, people. We're going to have to take. Do you hear me? We're going to have to take the opportunity because they don't give a damn. But anyway, they had their meeting last night, and they had assigned another 25-year joint use with the government, with the Air Force, with Scott Air Base. Do you ever notice this no-good son of a bitch? He tries to wrap everything. You hear me? He tries to wrap everything around that airport. He tries to make it, if Mid-America Airport isn't there, Scott Air Base will be gone. And what a damn lie. Do you think we're that stupid, Mark Sweet Cakes Kern? Do you think we're that stupid that when that airport goes by, that Scott Air Base is going to go with it? Are you nuts? Scott Air Base will assume the whole thing. They'll use the runway. And it's not costing under the new agreement, and I don't have it in front of me because I can't find the son of a bitch, but the new agreement, the government is not paying for any kind of fees. That's what Kern does. That's what the Mid-America Airport situation's about. They just want to bring people in. They're begging people to come so we can take their money and give it to Florida, give it to Las Vegas. They just want to look good. They don't care about the bottom line, people. It's not their business. If it was their business, they'd care about the bottom line. They just keep taking money from us, we the people. It's been 20 years, and they keep making excuses. How many excuses can they make, people? How many times are we going to fall for the okey-doke? We can't take this crap anymore. We got to do something about it. They're going to raise our taxes. Kurt and them are talking right now in secret negotiations to raise the taxes, but they're going to wait till after the election. You don't think they're going to do anything before the election, do you? Hell no. They're going to kiss your ass and cut your grass. They ought to be smoking. I think they're smoking some grass the way they act. But people, I try to be serious when I tell you that things aren't good in St. Clair County, and they're not going to get better. Now, I wish there was a better candidate than me running. I mean, the Republican ticket, has the Freedom Coalition people. Democrats, Republicans, men, women, black, white, independents, they've come together. And they can create a better St. Clair County. It gives you people a choice. Now, me, on the other hand, I'm not by far the best candidate. I believe I'm a little bit better than my opponent. But I said yesterday, this politics, this political system crap is nasty. It's dirty. It's a blood sport. I wish we could get some decent people to run. But these ass-white bastard Democrats, especially in St. Clair County, has scared them off, intimidated them off, bought them off, maybe even killed them off. That's what's happening. Other than Cook County and per capita, St. Clair County is, people, the most corrupt county in the state of Illinois. That's nothing to be proud of. But we can change it. Every vote will count this election year, people. They always say that, and most of the time it doesn't. But this year it's going to count because you can see how scared, how afraid the St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption is when Kern's spending $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 on ads. Now, not ads for the party, and now that they hear this, they'll start putting ads out for the whole ticket. But you understand? He's single shooting. All he gives a damn about is himself. And you other Democrats out there, party candidates are just party people. You understand this son of a bitch by now. We've exposed him. He's exposed himself. He's a phony one son of a bitch. Won't call, won't be transparent, never around when the times are bad. When the times are good, he's around all the time. But how nasty, how egregious is it for him to think that we're that stupid as people? That without the Mid-America Airport, Scott Air Base will be gone. He needs to be slapped in the face. He needs to be slapped, and politically slapped, of course. Yeah, of course. For thinking that we're that stupid. And see, that pisses me off as much as them squandering all of our hardworking taxpayers' dollars. They think we're that stupid. Now, if you're going to rob me, rob me. But don't tell me you're Santa Claus when you rob me. Tell me you're a robber. We're not that stupid. But they take us for being stupid, people. And it's our fault. It's our fault because we the people, have the opportunity to stop this crap. November the 8th, we have the opportunity. Let's take the opportunity. And you've heard me. Don't give us 40 years like you've given these ass-white bums, these sleazy, greasy bastards. Give us 2 and 4 years. If we don't produce, then throw our lame asses out, because that's what we'll be, as lame asses. But we can't. Hey, if we sit there and breathe and take a crap every day, we're going to do more and be more positive and more constructive than these son of a bitches. At least we'll be sitting on the crapper, and we won't be stealing your money because we'll be sitting on the crapper, taking the crap. These son of a bitches are unbelievable, people. And when I'm not overemphasizing that. You know that. Taxes are sky high. They're getting ready to get even worse. After the election, it's not a prediction, it's a fact. They're going to have to raise the taxes again. And you people will be hurting. It's time for a change. You don't have to like the people running against the St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption. But you got to know that's your last alternative. That's your last hope to stop this wave, this political criminal wave, the political mafia of St. Clair County that's been eating in our bones. Hell, we don't have much skin left, much flesh left, people. You understand what I'm saying? But, Kern, let me ask you, please quit disrespecting the people of St. Clair County. If you're running for St. Clair County office, emphasize St. Clair County. Don't emphasize the St. Louis side. We know you're ashamed to come down to East St. Louis. I'm surprised you even walk. Do you have somebody carrying you? Because you know it's dirty. You know what you've talked about the people of East St. Louis in the past. And I don't have to go there, Kern. I don't have to go there. The good people of East St. Louis know what I'm talking about. You're too good. You're too clean. You're too rich to deal with us common people. But see, there's a lot more common people in St. Clair County than there is you rich bastards. And I think Election Day, November the 8th, I think people will speak. I think people will speak. Let's get back. I'm tired of, it's like a hemorrhoid. It just pains my ass. let's get back to what I was talking about earlier, if I can find it. The clergy. Now, this is going to piss some people off. I'll be damned. Somebody comes in here and steals all my crap because I can't find it. The clergy got together, 19 clergy people got together, and they want to, area leaders demand police reform. Area leaders. The Reverend Philip Duval speaks Monday at St. Louis Memorial Baptist Church, and he and other religious and community leaders in St. Louis questioned the length of time it took a former St. Louis policeman to be charged. Do you notice, and it's not a black-white thing. It's not a black-white thing. There's enough whites that we can come after. But they take these protest groups, these criminals, take one situation out of a zillion and try to make it a focal point. Well, I would say to that, all you religious people in the St. Louis area, it says group demands 18 demands. 18 demands. They're demanding this. They're demanding that. The profession has to change. The church group says, let's get rid of the policeman as we see it. It's always a police fault. You ever notice that? It's never the bum's fault that goes in a bank with a gun and want to rob somebody or kill somebody, and the police pop them. It's always, the police shouldn't have done that. The police could have done it another way. But I want to ask all the clergy in St. Louis, the civic leaders, call Monday for mandatory body cameras. They're calling for better education. They're calling for everything for the policemen. Why don't you educate these bums out there, both black and white, these criminals, you idiots? Why don't you educate them? And what really pisses me off, and you think about it, the proud black community in St. Louis, and we're talking about this group from St. Louis now, they're all coming together, demanding this, demanding that of the police department, demanding because there are one or two bad apples in the bunch of policemen, as there are one or two bad apples in a bunch of everything except politicians, and there's a bunch of bad apples in that bunch. But they're demanding that the police department change their ways. They're demanding this, they're demanding that. They're talking about the controversial police shootings around the country. What do you mean? The shooting, the one or two controversial shootings? Hell, you bastards make everything. You make everything that way. It's unbelievable, people. Controversy, my ass. When a guy pulls out a gun and his people say it was a Bible or a book, and you know it was a gun, how is that controversial? It is what it is. Of course, these ass white bastards, again, both black and white, they're going to tell you what they want to tell you. They want to keep the fire going. They don't want to ever put the fire out because then they're significant. They're somebody for a day or two. It's like being a queen for a day, Kern, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. These guys get their day in the sun. Get your day in the sun, people, but not the expense of us taxpayers, because every time there's a protest, it costs the taxpayers $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 in overtime and destroyed and damaged equipment. Don't you good people understand that? We could be sitting home watching it on television, but it's hurting us financially. And when they see these riots, and they are riots, they're not protests, you think people want to come to town, to live in a town like that, want to shop in a town like that, want to put a business in a town like that? Hell no, they don't. But I say to you, group that wants 18 demands of the police department, they all come together. They're demanding this and that because of one or two bad shoots. What about the 5,000 good shoots? What about the good job that the policemen are doing? What about that? You don't think about that? But here's what I would say, you hypocritical religious bastards. And I'm not talking about the true religious people. I'm talking about the people that hide behind the pulpit for their own benefits, that drive the new Cadillacs, drive the new Lincolns, hardly ever live where they preach. And you guys all know that. Hardly ever live where they preach. And I'm not talking about the sincere religious preachers, because they're decent. They try to help the community. If this group of leaders, civic leaders, demanding police reform, why don't you demand criminal reform? Why don't you get your asses, both black and white, up to North County, St. Louis? You don't give a damn about the black on black, and I say that because it is the way it is. You don't give a damn about your black kids getting killed day in and day out in North St. Louis. The hundreds of killings in Chicago, black on black. You don't give a damn about that. But see, I got to say, you don't give a damn when this black policeman shot this guy who I think deserved to be shot, because I think he had a gun. You're on his ass too. You know what? Well, you represent the criminals? Is that what you're doing? But why don't you get so emphatic? Why don't you pound your chest and say, area leaders demand criminal reform? Why don't you get out there in the community instead of staging a rally? Get out there in the community to try to help the poor black community that's getting slaughtered in North St. Louis. And you North St. Louis religious leaders, you're worried about police reform? Worry about death reform, will you? These people are dying in the streets. And you're talking about it's the police fault? No, it's your fault. It's you hypocritical bastards, both black and white, both Democrats and Republican, men and women. There's enough blame in the game to go around. There's enough shame to go around. You care about police reform, my ass. You care about getting some notoriety. You're one of these Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson type. They're not out for the proud black community. They stir up the crap, then they go back to New York, get on TV and radio shows, make all their money. In the proud black community, they know. The NAACP. I can't talk about the NAACP in St. Louis, don't know, but I know the NAACP in East St. Louis never represents the unfortunate blacks. They're at their suit and tie, their black tie, $150 dinner over in St. Louis, again, disrespecting the good people of East St. Louis. But they don't give a damn. I give a damn, people, and you give a damn. But do you agree with me or not? Why are these religious leaders on the police? Why aren't they on the criminals? Why don't they take all these people that met, go in their communities, and talk to people and try to stop the crime? They don't give a damn about stopping the crime. They give a damn about stopping the policemen doing their job. And again, it's not a black-white thing. It's a wrong or right thing, and it's wrong. It's wrong for civic leaders, both black and white, Democrats and Republicans, to cast all the blame, all the light on the few, you hear me, the few bad police shootings. Why aren't they out on the street trying to save lives instead of destroying professional police officers' lives? We got a caller. Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side.
Good morning, Mr. Romanik.
Good morning.
I just want to say that having been a front-of-house manager for a five-star restaurant, I've seen many a parade of these hypocrites, pastors and their first ladies. Not that all of them are, but I've seen them parade through on our days closed, pay us to stay open, and have parties filled with decadence and indulgence that could be surpassed only by Caligula. And while the poor people who they get this money from are sitting at home trying to scrape together what their link card wouldn't cover for a Sunday meal, on to what they should be doing instead of making demands of the police. Have some special collections, and instead of buying yourself a gold and diamond ring with it, help the police departments pay for those body cameras that are so damned important to you. And by the way, have another special collection and use that money to give witness protection to the people in their own communities and your communities that sit in your pews every Sunday morning, every Sunday night, every Wednesday, and any other night that you can have them there, chained to the church. Pay for their protection so they're not afraid to bear witness to the police when they see thugs committing murder right out in front of their own houses.
You know, ma'am, thank you. Yeah, you once again, you made me sound bad. You're very articulate. You're to the point. Thank you very much for the call, ma'am. She's exactly right. These hypocritical bastards, they're the ones that are at fault, but they don't care. They don't care about anything other than perpetuating their existence, their importance. But people, we have to think about it. Let's quit being okey-fadoked by everyone. Let's get down to the serious question. Do we want to have a country 100 years from now? If we do, we better all think. We better all give a little bit, and we all better take something from it. Take this lesson that unless we work together, unite, this country is going to be dead. These politicians are the one doing this. They're dividing and conquering us so they can self-perpetuate their existence. The hell with the few politicians' existence. Let's worry about we the people's existence. This is Bob Romanik. the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, your guardian of the First Amendment, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Let's take care of a little bit of our housekeeping, because I'll go goofy and nutty and we'll forget about all of it. And we always want to try to help our community out the best we can. The 67th annual Word Smart, St. John's United Church of Christ in Trenton, Illinois, will be held Sunday, October the 2nd. Serving starts from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. 10 years and older adults, $10, 10 and under, $4. All carryouts, $10. They're also going to have a country store, and that's going to be at the St. John's United Church of Christ in the beautiful town of Trenton, Illinois. Also, we've got this second annual Collinsville Food Truck Festival. We were there last year, had a great time. They got all the food trucks out from different places, pizza trucks, taco trucks, and it's going to be held, if I can find the info show, that shows you how prepared I am. October the 1st at the Woodland Park in Collinsville, Illinois. So if everybody can make it out there, they're going to have music afterwards. The Enide Shriners. And this is a great deal. They're having a Crown Valley Winery tour out of St. Genevieve. The cost now is $25. That includes the transportation to and from the winery. Price includes reserved seating, wine testing, and a souvenir glass, and cheese and fruit platters. Hey, sweet cakes. You know all about them fruit platters, don't you? I think you do. The bus will be leaving at 10 a.m. from Scottish Rite Temple, 1549 Frank Scott Parkway in Belleville. If you have any questions or like to get involved, it's reserved for the first 55 people for $25 people, and it helps the Shriners of Southern Illinois. Would love those people. You can call Craig Muth, at 618-792-1538 for a great time with the Shriners. And once again, Mr. Dawson, Mr. and Mrs. Dawson, thank you very much for your kind words. And just remember, Brian will be missed deeply, but loved forever. So we'll keep it at that. What else do we have here? Kaskaskia Car Cruise coming up October the 9th at the Kaskaskia River House. Always a great time. And don't forget the Fall Festival Chili Cook-Off. The Village of Freeburg. It will be at the Village of Freeburg Square Park. It's a chili cook-off. Great time last year. It'll be held October the 8th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And I tell all you first responders, police departments, fire departments, if you'll get a hold of Mr. Matt Trout, I will sponsor all of you. I will pay for the food. I will pay for the entry fee. Matt Trout's number is 618-410-8077. You'll have a great time. The weather will be great. So, guys, we'd like to honor all the police and fire departments. And if you guys come out, we'll be more than happy to do that. 7th Annual Fall Festival coming up Saturday, October the 8th at Washington State Park. If you have any questions or concerns, there's not a telephone number, so you can't call them. October the 2nd, Misfits Car, Truck, and Bike Show in Kirkwood, Missouri. That's Sunday, October the 2nd. For any and all information, you can contact 314-306-0525. I guess we can do on this date. I don't want to do on this date. The hell with it. Got Carl Officer just come in, but before I talk with Carl, I appreciate always all the information I get sent to me. This is about Fairmont City. And people, I just want to give you a backdrop. You've heard what I've talked about, all the inbreeding in Fairmont City, all the inbreeding in St. Clair County. And Fairmont City used to be a Democratic stronghold, but I don't think it is anymore. But I get this letter. It says, Charlie Suarez was the mayor in Fairmont until he got elected, and then he moved to a $400,000 house in Swansea. He said his chief deputy is Alex Bergman. Now, when Charlie Suarez quit being the mayor, he appointed Alex Bergman. Alex Bergman, he's now the mayor of Fairmont, and he also holds the position of chief deputy, and guess who? In Charlie Suarez's office. He's also the real estate and investment coordinator, reporting directly to Charlie Suarez. Now we've got Scott Penny, the village administrator of Fairmont City. He's also the chief of police. He lives in Caseyville. All this inbreeding. Scott Penny, Charlie Suarez, Areola, all these guys, they all have family. Charlie Suarez's older brother, Tony, his nephew has a job with the county. Charlie Suarez arranged to put him over the payroll for the village of Fairmont City in the administration department. It's unbelievable, people, what happens in all these towns. David Suarez is the son of Tony Suarez. He works for the sanitation department in Fairmont City. Charlie Suarez's older brother, David Suarez, has been a village trustee in Fairmont City. Do you understand what I'm telling you, people? That's just not in Fairmont City. That's all over St. Clair County. Charlie Suarez has a son by the name of Michael who works for, guess what? St. Clair County Courthouse in the shipping department, and has been appointed to 3 public jobs in Fairmont City: canteen administrator, treasurer, and zoning administrator. It's unbelievable what they do, people. They keep this stuff up. They keep it up. Here's another one. Roger Younger has a job. He lives in Fairmont City, and he's married to Jennifer Suarez. And you people in Fairmont City, you people all throughout St. Clair County, this political inbreeding goes on forever. Kern, Sprague, they all have family members, close friends with jobs. Do you have a job? Do you, the bosses, do you, the one that fund all these people? And you wonder why we get pissed. Do you wonder why we're running against them? I swear to you, there'll not be any of my family members or friends on my payroll. I want to get qualified people, and I'm going to ask for those qualified people from the ranks of the 114th Legislative District. I want my bosses that pay my salary that I'm not going to take, that pay the expenses to run an office. I want them to be able to choose. I want them to be able to have positions in my administration. Mark Kern doesn't give a damn. You've heard me before. He hires Herbie the Hemorrhoid Simmons because he kisses his ass. $135,000 a year job, people, and you keep hearing me say that. Coordinator, director, 911. Herbie couldn't add up 911. He's got a high school education, a GED, and I don't hold that against him. But you're not going to fly my plane with a GED, and that serious position he has is just as serious. And let me remind you, people, did anybody else in St. Clair County get to apply for that job when it came available? Was there any advertising for that job when it came available? That's what's wrong in St. Clair County. Then right here, a gentleman sends me this. Suarez buyers, they're accused of rigging tax auctions. You remember that. And I got to go here, and you know I don't want to pick on anybody's family members, but when they become involved, we pick on them. Conrad Bergen was charged in Madison County, and I've got the report right here. It appears to be in the Belleville paper. Teen son of mayor charged with rape? I'm reading this right out of the Belleville News-Democrat. Incident happened at the Chain of Rocks Bridge. A Fairmont City man whose father is a public official, the mayor of Fairmont City, is charged with rape. Conrad Bergen, 18 years old, was charged in Madison County with criminal sexual assault for allegedly forcing a woman to have sex on February the 20th. Bergman, the son of Alex Bergen, who was the mayor of Fairmont City and deputy treasurer for St. Clair County Treasurer Charlie Suarez, accused of rape. You never heard about that, did you? They hid that in the newspaper. But a woman also stated that Conrad Bergman told her not to tell anyone or she'd regret it. See what happens, people? When you're an elected official's family, you get away with whatever. We don't get away with it. But do you see the inbreeding? Do you see everything that's happening in St. Clair County that you people aren't aware of, that I'm making you aware of? And I say, just listen to me. Don't believe me. Research it, and you'll find what I'm saying is true. Now you've got Scott Penny. This guy's worth $1 zillion. This guy is worth $1 zillion. He's the administrator. He's the chief of police. He owns an investigative firm. He kisses Suarez's ass. I mean, it'd take me a month to go through all this stuff. Charlie Suarez moved to Swansea after getting elected to the county. See, he didn't need Fairmont City anymore. And that's all these people. He lives in a $400,000 house in Swansea. He's got sons and daughters on the payroll. Do you understand, people? Do you understand that that's what we're trying to stop? That's what the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition is trying to stop. And people like Carl Officer, Roger Cook, Ed Cockrell, they'll stop it. Carl Officer, I know you just heard me ranting and raving about all the inbreeding, all the jobs, and you've been the mayor a long time. You've been the mayor a long time. You didn't have your sons and daughters on the payroll. You know, you had to put people on the payroll that would do the job, and they did a good job for you. But don't you now, just as a taxpayer, put yourself in these people's position, all the good people, we the people of St. Clair County. Doesn't it just piss you off what they're doing, the inbreeding, all the money being spent and wasted? They're going to raise our taxes again after the election if they win. What the hell's going on in St. Clair County, Mayor?
Well, good morning, Bob.
Yeah,
how you doing, bud?
Fine.
No, I don't believe that anyone who's an elected official should besmirch their relatives from getting the job if the relative is qualified.
But give everybody else the opportunity to apply for that job also.
There you go. I look at it from this simple standpoint. There are some people who have been elected that have hired qualified people that they're related to. But unfortunately, in most cases, we will see children, siblings, even parents that'll be on the payroll that have no clue. They don't even show up to work, let alone not be qualified. They don't even show up to work. I've seen it over and over as mayor of East St. Louis. I saw it when I was on the school board. I've seen it in a variety of other offices, like you say, throughout St. Clair County, but also in the state of Illinois. But I've been very fortunate that I never had to hire any of my relatives or either anyone that was related to any of my relatives. And I just don't think that it makes good public policy. I can comfortably say that I don't have a son, but my daughter, I'm pretty sure where she's going to be working, where she started to work this summer at my funeral home. She's done an excellent job. I'm looking forward to her continuing working there. But no, this is just absolutely ludicrous. You and I discussed this a couple of weeks ago in the coroner's office. If I am fortunate to be elected St. Clair County coroner on November the 8th, I intend to not only advertise the jobs for my office, but I'm going to do my utmost best to do two other groundbreaking things. One is that I'm going to do my best to unionize my office to make every employee there so they will have protection when I'm gone out of the office, but to have quality professional people in the coroner's office. And two, I want to eliminate the coroner's office 4 years from now if I can. And so it becomes a medical examiner, a full professional, something that you tried to do in 1992.
Yeah, you know, that was a good concept then, and it's even a better concept now, Mayor. And I honestly think, and I applaud you, you're going to be like I was. Of course, I wanted to get a medical examiner because I knew if I got elected, I didn't want to screw the people. I wasn't qualified to be a proper coroner. You, on the other hand, are, but I want to applaud you for after 4 years because, see, you don't need this job. I don't need this job. I'm doing it as you are. We're getting a little bit older. I want to make a positive mark. I've done things in my life that I'm happy about. I've done things in my life that I'm not too happy about, not too proud of, and I've done things that I've been proud of. But we've discussed it many times. It's time that people that have something give back to the community, not keep taking. And that's what this democratic culture of corruption has done in St. Clair County for the last 40 years. And Mayor, until we stop it, and this is the last opportunity to stop them, because they'll get a full head of steam if they win this time. This whole county will be screwed. It's time to give back to the community. Don't you agree?
Well, you made it very clear. This is the perfect storm. If there ever is a time to eliminate the culture of corruption, it is in 2016. The St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, men and women, Republicans and Democrats, black and white, rural and urban, have come together for the first and maybe the only time that you and the people who are listening to us this morning will be able to see a real cross-section of America working hand in hand, not for a political party, not to further some kind of political philosophy other than the one important philosophy for all of us, freedom. And that's what the Freedom Coalition is about. Freedom to exercise your God-given right of being an American. There's no greater freedom in this country for the citizens. And here in St. Clair County, we got a chance to do it. We got 40 less days. We're going to hold our standards high. We're going to work very hard. Roger and I, Gary Cornwell, Ed Cockrell, Dallas, Amanda, all of us working together. I think that we're in a good shape. And I believe that the people are listening to you every morning. They're hearing the message that you have amply got out over the last 2 years. I'm just excited and I'm pleased. And I hope and I pray that people will listen to us. But I have one favor from you.
What's that, Mayor?
It has nothing to do with politics. About a year and a half ago, I started listening to you when you do your public service announcements. I have not heard any beer and chicken dances coming up lately.
I don't understand.
But when you do, would you make a note, if you and Fox can find a beer and chicken dance? I want to go to a church that has a beer and chicken dance.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, Carl Officer, co-chairman of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, and you're the people's candidate for St. Clair County Coroner. But you know what? There ain't nothing worse, though, Mayor. I got to tell you, nothing worse than when you get a chicken drunk and see them dance. So I don't know if you want to go to a beer and chicken dance. But
well, we had a good time when we were down to New Athens last year. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
We had a good time.
Had a great time. Hey, all the calls I got, people, and I want to tell you, 99% were agreeable with me. If I'm elected, fortunate enough to be elected state representative and not take a salary, not take a benefit, I'm going up there because it'll be an honor to serve the people of the 114th Legislative District. But let me tell you, any high school that I would have control of, any state university supported by state funding, by us, the taxpayers, any athletic department that don't stand for the national anthem, don't stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, I promise you I will filibuster for a month, and you know I can talk my ass off and I can continue to talk. I will attempt to cut funding, because if you're not good enough to stand for our flag, to stand and respect our country, you're sure not good enough to take our money. And that just pisses me off. And I want to thank everybody that called and supported that. And I mean that. And if it costs me votes by anybody, I don't give a damn. I will not stand there and let these ass-white bastards, wherever they're from, and I don't give a damn if they're your kids, if they don't stand for the Star-Spangled Banner, if they don't stand for the national anthem, they don't stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, they don't stand for America. And if they don't stand for America, they're not going to benefit from America. And I say that with all due respect to all you college coaches, all you high school coaches, and I'll be damned if you guys, if one of my star athletes sat down for the Pledge of Allegiance, black, white, I wouldn't give a damn. If they sat for the Pledge of Allegiance, they'd be sitting the rest of the season on the bench. No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't be sitting on the bench. I would not disrespect my team, my country, by letting them wear the uniform that people play every day. They get to go to school. They get to live free. They get a decent life because of that great flag and the military heroes that died to give us that opportunity. I'll be damned, people. You hear me? And I am half nuts. Don't vote for me if you don't like me. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to screw every son of a bitch that don't like this country. And if there's a lot of yous out there that don't like it, vote against me, because I don't want to represent you anyway. You understand me? I'm tired of having the United States of America being beat up. Not by the enemy. Not by the enemy. but by us. By us. Mayor, I'll give you the last word.
You know, I've kind of stayed clear of that whole controversy with that gentleman out in California.
Gentleman, my ass, but go ahead.
But I just thought about this over and over. When I look at young men that I see every time I have to go to the Veterans Hospital at Jefferson Barracks, or the one at John Cochran, or I look at people in my lobby at my funeral home in wheelchairs, missing arms, and I ask myself, how can anyone in good conscience that has never had to fight a war, that's never had to put on the uniform of this country, if you want to protest something, there's another way to protest it, but not by disrespecting the one symbol that unites every American. I personally find it offensive to kneel down, to sit down, to not take your hat off, to not show respect to the flag that the men and women who gave all that they had to give so that I can have the freedom. There's another way to protest. There's another way to demonstrate. There's another way to express my anger with some of the actions that are going on. But you don't put the United States of America on Front Street.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Hey, before we go, I got to say, Tom Holbrook, Derek Wallace is requesting that you come on the show with him. You remember Derek Wallace? It was all over the Facebook about some egregious and salacious allegations about you, Tom Holbrook. And I bring that up, Holbrook, because someone used to work up at the county told me, Bob, don't worry about him stealing the election in East St. Louis. There's going to be feds down there. They're going to be watching it. Watch St. Clair County, because St. Clair County in that back room is where they're going to steal the election. And I believe that. So, Holbrook, I demand and ask one more time. I will pay if it's $20,000. I would ask, as the people, the good people of St. Clair County would ask, what will it hurt for put cameras in there, to put an alarm system when every time somebody comes in, we'll know who was in there, why they were in there, and we'll be able to see on video what they're doing in there. Why does this hurt anybody? It makes this election more transparent, Holbrook. It makes it where nobody can say that you stole the election as the county clerk. Wouldn't you want that? Without the taxpayers paying for it, I would welcome that, Tom Holbrook. You're not only welcoming it, you're ducking the whole situation. And we the people of St. Clair County, want to know why, Tom Holbrook. Are you guys that afraid? Are you afraid you're going to lose the election? Let the people decide. Let the people decide by voting, not by someone stealing the election at the courthouse. Tom Holbrook, the people of St. Clair County will not tolerate that. We demand that there be transparency, and more than that, we demand that every one of our votes be counted, and be counted properly. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio, and we are, as always, very, very proud to be the Patriot. We'll see you tomorrow. We're going to be fighting the fight until Election Day, and then after the Election Day, we're going to continue the fight to fight. That's what we do. That's what Americans do. We fight for truth, justice in the American way. That's what we do here. That's what we do out on the street. So, people, let's continue. The movement is on. The St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, uniting Democrats, Republicans, men, women, black and white, inner city, outer county, for a more efficient, a more effective, but most of all, the most important, a more honest form of government, an honest form of government that we all deserve, that our men and women have fought and died for. So let's continue to unite, to expose these rotten bastards, no good, political, parasitical, perverted punks, these no good, sleazy, greasy, low-life, bottom-feeding son of a bitches that we call politicians. And when it's all said and done, let's line them up. Let's line them up and shoot them all. Shoot them all in the head, in their political heads, of course. Right here on the dark side.